All right, ladies and gentlemen, so today you're going to be doing a lab activity about gravity and the center of gravity. So gravity is a force which pulls on all objects in the universe. Each object has a center of gravity where gravity pulls equally on all sides of the object. It is sometimes described as the center of mass. Try the following activities, make observations, and answer the questions that follow with complete sentences. So your first job is going to be to read the information at the following link to learn more about your center of gravity. So if I open up this link here, when I open up the link here, I see some things to read, and this reading should take you about 5 to 8 minutes. So please pause the video now and read about the center of gravity. You want to make sure that you hit all 5 of these key ideas. You can take notes if you choose, or you can come back and reference this video when we get to the analysis questions. So pause the video now and read through this article. Once you've had a chance to read through the article, I want you to come back to this activity, and we're going to look at these different things that you'll be doing in class, if you are in class, or at home. The first one is you're going to sit in a chair with a straight back. Place your feet flat on the floor and cross your arms with your fingertips touching your shoulders. Try to stand up without leaning forward or using your arms. Make sure that your legs are facing forward and not opened up. Describe what happens. So I'm going to show you now a few student examples of what this looks like.
Try to stand up. Without leaning forward. Try it again. Without leaning forward.
So now let's try the next activity. Go to a wall in your house or in the classroom. Head to the hallway so that you don't have a whiteboard in your way. Turn sideways and make sure your entire side, from your shoulder all the way down to your heel, is touching the wall. Try to lift your foot that's away from the wall. Describe what happens. The other thing you could do is you can try turning around. Have your other shoulder all the way down to your heel. See if it works the other direction. Describe what happens. I'll show you now some student examples here in the building.
Foot that's not touching the wall. You gotta have everything glued to the wall. And then try lifting the other one.
For our third activity now, you'll need a small towel or washcloth, or if you're in the classroom, you can grab a Kleenex and go back to the wall in the hallway if you're at school, or any wall in your house. You're going to turn so that your pockets, so your butt, is touching the wall. You want all of your legs to be hitting up against the wall from your pockets all the way down to your heels. You're going to place the object in front of your feet, and without bending your knees, reach down and try to pick up the washcloth. Be careful. No broken noses allowed. Don't fall forward. Catch yourself if you need to. As you're doing this one, again, it'll be a little frustrating, just like the other two. But I want you to tell me what happens in the document here. I'll show you some student examples of what this looks like.
Yeah, I don't think we help in this.
Just go do this, and I got it. No, just standing. I did it.
This last activity is a bonus one. You don't need to complete it in the classroom. You don't need to complete it at home, but this might be fun to try. You're going to turn a chair sideways and push it up against the wall. Have someone stand so their feet are not under the chair. Bend over the chair at the waist so that your back is flat and your head touches the wall. Then pick up your chair and hug it to your chest in the same position. Then try to stand up. Describe what happens. Do you notice a pattern of who is successful and who is not? Try your best here. This one I don't have a student example for, so you're on your own for this one here, and it's a bonus one. You are not required to complete it. When you're done with that, you'll head on to the next section, this analysis section, where you're going to describe what happened. Now I want you to go back, reread the reading so you understand what we're talking about here, and then try to, my bubble's floating around, there we go. Try to explain what happened using those ideas of the center of gravity. You've got a few analysis questions to give me complete sentences, and a short video to watch about a tightrope walker, and explain why is that person choosing to use a pole to walk. For the multiple choice questions, I'm not going to scroll because it'll show you the answers here. You're going to need to think about your remote learning task from this week where you watched that video on the crash course on gravity. Then when you're finished with all that, when you're finished with the rest of the lab, if you have extra time, you can do this extra credit opportunity where you're going to complete the balancing bird activity and send a picture to your teacher over Teams chat or email demonstrating the toy. In the box below on the form, type in, yes, I sent a photo for extra credit if you're choosing to do this activity. If you're not, you can leave it blank. If you're working at home, you can click on that link and it will open up the activity that you can print out on cardstock. The activity looks like this here. If you're completing it in the classroom, there's a physical copy for you. And what you will do is you will trace the bird onto a note card, because we have it printed on regular printer paper, but you can trace it onto a note card so that it's made out of stiffer paper, and you're going to build your bird. Should look something like this here, and you'll have the edges folded down. When you do that, you should find that it balances. Ooh, see if I can get it in the video. It balances on your fingertip. It's flying. If yours balances initially incorrectly and it's balancing kind of upright like this, you can add some tape to the tail. When we shrunk down to make this printable in the classroom, somehow the proportions were a little off. So it might need a little bit of weight at the back end. So we can adjust that center of gravity to get a nice balancing bird. Again, this part is bonus. You do not have to complete it. If you're doing it at home, you need cardstock or a note card or something stiffer. Regular printer paper does not work well for this activity. Make sure that you get all of this part done and submitted before midnight. Thanks, guys.